Hello and welcome folks, this is Krishnendukes. Welcome back to my channel. As you can make out from the intro that today we are actually going to talk about a lot of cooking stuff. If you have followed my keto vlogs, you would have noticed that in my previous keto video, I showed what I was shopping, my grocery for the week. Today I'm going to show what I cook with my groceries. Yes, eggs, a lot of eggs. And before I begin, I must say that today's sponsor of the video is nobody. Yes, nobody's sponsoring this video. Okay, in the morning, the breakfast for me, I vary between 2 or 3 different things. Mostly I have my bacon and eggs, but I also vary with the egg bites that I showed you. It's pretty simple. You just open from the wrapper and heat it in the microwave for about 90 seconds or so. I have 3 or 4 of those, so I heat it for about 2 minutes and it's delicious. I also have this pâté de grand-mère that I showed you in my last video. And what I mostly have is I take out my slices of bacon, cut them into pieces, arrange them out on the pan and start heating it. And once it gets to a nice temperature, I break the eggs over it. Usually I have about 4 slices of bacon along with 2 to 3 eggs. Yes, eggs is a very important part. I have a lot of eggs. Eggs is very important for LCHF. Again, going back to the history, folks, I must let you know, time and again, I'm telling you that I did not start my LCHF keto diet to control my weight. It was mostly because my metabolic health had become poor. I was never fat or anything. I was always the way as you see me now, always physically active, very active. In fact, even now I swim, I run, I do exercises, and I keep doing stuff. I ride motorcycles, so I'm relatively fit. Yes, I started LCHF diet mostly because of my poor metabolic health, which showed up in my blood markers. Again, I link a card in this video where you can check out what my blood markers were, all that Dr. Parikshit actually speaks about. To continue, let's get on with the cooking. For lunch, what I make, you've seen the beef that I buy. What I do is that I take a big wok, break a significant chunk of butter. Yes, I use a lot of butter. Let it melt and I break a significant amount of the beef into it. It could be also lamb, basically high fat meat. And I break up the meat into the wok, let it heat up for a while, and then I put I put dollops of sour cream into it. Again, high fat, low carb content. Mix it around nice and proper. Once it's beginning to cook, I do it about low flame. I add blue cheese, nice amount of blue cheese. This is a recipe that I actually developed over time, You can make variations of this as well. I have already chopped mushrooms, which I place over it, a layer of chopped mushrooms. And then right on top, I put some shredded parmesan and cover it up and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Oh, it's delicious. It's awesome. Believe me, folks, you can try this guy. What I also at times do is on top of all of this, once it is half cooked, actually, I make a little bit of space between the meat and I break a couple of eggs into it again. So I have about 4 to 6, sometimes even 8 eggs in a day. It's perfectly fine. Again, I'm letting you know, before you get into an LCHF diet, consult your doctor who is knowledgeable about LCHF. For dinner, you don't exactly have to do what I'm saying, but you can make variations of it. Most importantly is carb watching, as I was saying in my previous video. Watch your carbs, how much carbs you're taking in. Remember, carbs is a cause of inflation. Medical books are always saying, remember, what is essential for living? Essential amino acids and essential fatty acids. No medical book says you need essential carbohydrates, no. Essential as the doctor says, as the good doctor says, means that without them, you die. So without fatty acids and without amino acids, you will die. So you need fat, you need cholesterol, and you need protein to survive. You do not need carbs to survive. You can put your comments down in the comment section below. We'll try to discuss that further. But yeah, carbohydrates is actually causing inflammation in your body. There is no doubt about that. 3.5 years into keto, and I'm living proof of what low carb, high fat diet does to the human body. Let's move on to dinner. What are we having for dinner? Very often I have the pork chops that I showed you that I buy. Yes, those pork chops, I take dollops of butter, heat it up, put salt onto my pork chop. It's like a huge steak, high temperature, put it in there, put butter on top as well, cover it up, let it cook. at a medium flame. A little while later, turn it around, cover it up, let it cook. On the side, in the wok, with a lot of ghee. Again, ghee is something that I have plentiful. As I said, low carb, high fat. I chop up some broccoli. You remember the broccoli that I showed you? Yes, I chop up some broccoli and let it fry. Light fry it in the wok, cover it up, let it cook. It's done, serve it out. This is what I primarily have for dinner. Occasionally, I do change it up for some fish or for maybe a big chunk of steak that I want to have. It's not regular. I do follow a routine, and when I'm traveling, of course, I have to be more conscious of what I am eating. But this is a routine that I have set, and you can try out a routine like that. Very important point. I always have an avocado in the morning. I forgot to mention that, but in the morning, I do have an avocado. Also, occasionally, I do have a snack. It's a kind of a keto snack. I have some nuts, as I showed in the previous video. I get Brazilian nuts, I get pecan nuts, and walnuts. I mix them with this nice Greek cheese called manuri. A nice salty cheese is wonderful. Again, I have lots of cheese through the day actually. I mean, if I'm a little hungry, I have this snack that I'm just talking about. I have some brie at home all the time. They don't always talk about brie in a keto diet, but I do have it. Instead of brie, if you can have some more blue cheese, that's even better. There you have, folks. That's what I eat through the day. If you do have questions, do put your questions down in the comment section down below. I'll be glad to answer your questions. And what do you think? I mean, have you ever tried a low carb, high fat diet? I will go more into details of why I went into this diet. I will go more into the details of what actually has done to my body over the past 3 years. We will continue this series and this discussion over a few videos, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Until then, cheers, enjoy.